What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of the Bison Trading Show, coming at you live from the Bison Trading Labs. And what is today? Today is the first Friday of the month, so you know what that means. That means that it is non-farm payrolls time. So, we've been going at it all week long. We've been trying to drill these lessons into your head, so hopefully we can culminate everything that we taught you this week into one cohesive lesson today in this live trading session. If you don't know, I'm half of the Bison Trading Show crew. I go by the name of Ty Trades Futures, and of course, I'm here with my guy.
You already know, man, it's your boy. I'm the D guy, aka Pro Financial. I hope you guys are ready for a Bison Trading live session. Let's lock in. Let's see what non-farm payroll has to give us. And let's just hop in, man. That's all I'm waiting for. Let's get it.
All right. So we have about 9 minutes until the market opens. I'm just gonna do a quick little cover through, run through what I'm looking at for the Dow Jones. So looking at the 15, we can see that as Darren called out last night, prices had a high tendency because it's so volatile to come back to that major zone at 500. And we can see that that call out actually happened last night. So if anybody caught that, shout outs to you if you had your orders there. We can see that overall that formed a double bottom off the top of the zone. So we know we had the false breakout. We're looking for prices to move to the upside. We have our higher lows, a double bottom forming off a major support, a higher low established off of that. So we're looking for an up move going into the news. Anything can happen though, so we'll keep our eyes open. If we break back down below that zone, then we can start looking for potential short trades. But until then, we're focused on the long side. I'm also be trading GU a little bit today, just on the little smaller time frames. I'm not looking for big moves, just 10 to 15 pips here and there. It looks like so far the trend for today is up. They're coming into what used to be a last low, so I'll keep my eyes on that and keep you guys updated. But for the most part, I'll be focused on the Dow Jones. So that's my spiel. Let's go ahead and get over to Darren. Let's see what he wants to trade today and what he's going to be looking into.
All right, so I think last night, like we said, we were kind of waiting for. We noticed that prices came out of this wedge, and I think I even had moved this wedge up a little bit, which gave more of a better story. It broke out of it, came back up for the retest, and now we're all the way back down below the green line. I feel like if we can kind of stay above where we are right now, I feel like we can definitely begin to look for bullish momentum because we actually came all the way back down here. Let me tighten it up a little bit so you guys can see it. So yes, we came back down all the way down to the bottom of the blue zone. So if we can get prices to stay above this area and start making its way above this green line, I would definitely say let's begin to look for buy moves. But I feel like ever since this big drawdown, it would be really hard for me to say to look for the short moves. I'll probably say let's kind of wait for price to pull back up a little higher, retest the level that it broke in, and let's just kind of follow the trend as what it has been doing, and let's look forward to try to go down to this next green line. So that's pretty much what I'm kind of looking for to do. I just want to follow trend. I don't want to try to fight the trend all night. It's been going down, so I feel like we want to kind of try to follow suit. But like we said, if we're gonna buy low, if we're gonna sell, we want to sell at higher levels and bring prices down lower. So let's look for prices to come back up a little bit more once the news opens, and let's try to bring this back down to the green line. Let's see how many pips that is actually. That's about a good 80 pips, good 80, 85 pips. So I think it's very possible to get 25 to 30, 40 pips out of that. Let's flash over to gold really quick. I think like we said last night, gold is an inverse of the US dollar. So if we get good news, which means the dollar is performing well in the economy, which jobs have been added, more money is going to be circulating, we should see prices of gold to continue to come down. But look where prices came back up to. So actually we came back up to levels in which we retested previous lows. So if we can kind of stay below the area we are right now, I would say let's look for price to come back down to this down blue trend line that's sitting on top of this green zone. If we get price to come back down here, I think that would be a good enough price to bring prices back up again. But I feel like the overall trend is up. So if we're looking to get in for up moves, we want to try to get it as low as possible. So when I bring it to a higher time frame like the weekly, let's go to the 4 hour. I think it might be a little better. Yeah, so the 4 hour kind of shows a little bit of a better story. We broke out of this wedge, came back up to higher prices, found the ceiling, came back all the way down to previous high levels, and now it looks like it could be going up. So I want to believe that we're now going to continue to go up. We are at a very strong demand zone. So let's see what the market gives us in the next 4 minutes. I know CAD had some news coming out. So let's look over and see any CAD. Let's try to look at UCAD, because that actually has both of the pairs that's going to be affected in this non-farm payroll. I don't even think I have UCAD. Let's just kind of look at this really quickly. This is kind of, to me, this is a little surprising. I don't know if this is a little surprising to anyone, but this is a little surprising to me that UCAD is just formed on March 2020. There's no other history of UCAD. Am I in the right one?
Nah.
There's no way I'm in the right one.
That can't be the right
this says K Karen. That can't be the right one. Like, yeah, that says crypto. Cause I'm like, wait a minute. That can't be the right one. Okay, that's a little bit better. All right, so let's kind of do a quick little analysis. We have 2 minutes. Let's just kind of make it a little quick. We just want to kind of just look at our higher time frame and see what the market overall direction is. So on the monthly, it looks like we were down here. From here, we start making higher highs, higher lows. The market even have enough momentum to break up over the market. We found a resistance up here at the top, but we've been kind of playing around this little consolidation area. We broke over this structure, so this was once the ceiling, and now this is now the floor. So if prices can continue to stay above this particular level right here, I will be kind of convinced that prices are trying to go up a little bit higher. Let's just try to put some levels here. So, let's try to create a quick little blueprint. So this is pretty much just like a little fast track blueprint of what we're trying to pretty much put together. So like I said, we're in a very strong demand zone. So on the monthly, the 7 is above the 65. On the weekly, the 7 is below the 65, and on the daily, the 7 is below the 65. So I'm gonna believe that if the overall trend is up, it's still in pullback mode. So like I said, where we are right now is very, very strong resistance levels. So I'm gonna kind of put like a little zone over this, like a little zone and chill, and let's kind of see what the market does. So for the most part, what I'll be looking for on this one is that being that over here, this was once the ceiling. I feel like being that this was once the ceiling over here, and it's now has broken up above it and has pretty much been bouncing on it ever since. And the last time we hit this line, we shot straight up. I kind of want to believe the same thing. So I think right now is a very good level to try to bring prices up a little bit more. Ty, I think you have anything that you want to add on top of this before we market is definitely open. You want to give you quick little thoughts? All right.
Observing, seeing what so far the Dow Jones popped up.
It just popped up, huh?
What did UCAD do?
UCAD did nothing just yet. Let me drop it. Yes, I'm talking about. Let me go to the 1 minute. Looks like it shot down. Ooh, So yeah, I think that we could definitely be looking for some buy moves happening right now. Go to the 5 minutes. So I think I want to be patient. I want to let this news completely come out. I don't want to jump in the market too fast. But we can probably definitely begin to look for buys on this one. We look like we're retesting previous high levels. So I think for the Dow Jones, I think since it's reaching higher prices like that, it could be making its way back down. But that's a strong up momentum, though.
Yep, coming off of the double bottom from the test of the zone. It's coming back up into supply. Let's see what happens. I think the first 5 minutes after every news announcement, those are the times that are the most important because the initial reaction could be one thing, but as the market starts to digest the number and really break it down, traders may continue to push the market in the way that it's been moving, or they might decide to go a different way once they say, hold on, I feel like maybe it's not what I thought it was. So these first 5 minutes are going to be crucial. Let's see if the Dow Jones can continue. So what pair you want to trade? UCAD?
I think I'm going to trade UCAD today. Okay. I'm going to look over the AU too, but I think being that on UCAD, both of these pairs are in the non-farm payroll, I want to see how this really affects this pair and if it affects it at all. So if I flash over to AU, it looks like we did get into higher prices, retesting these lows, so this could be actually making its way back down again. And it's just like shooting up. Shooting up. It looked like it broke that low. This is one hell of a bullish engulfing candle right here.
How many pips?
At least, just from the look of it, probably 30. Let me measure it. 37. My guess was 30 and it was 37, so my eye is not too far off. Did I save you, Cad? Add to watch list. Alright, so on UCAD, it looks like, you know, we hit that 7 moving average perfectly. We just have to be very, very cautious because we're the levels where we are right now, we're at kind of like very, very high prices. So let's just be very cautious and be patient. Like Tiberius said, the first 5 minutes is going to be the most crucial. So let me drop down to 5 minutes. Looking like we just got the break of this green line, but I'm not convinced that's... Oh, unless that joint playing a drop. Where could it possibly come down to? Okay, over here. Okay, so it looks like it's definitely coming back down to a previous high level, which was over here. So let's see if we can get the bounce off of this 2090 area. Or, excuse me, 2095.
Zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm starting to put a buy in at 2095.
The high for the Dow Jones for the day is 34,666.
Wow.
As soon as it hit that number, it reversed hard.
It reversed hard, huh?
Interesting. It was definitely somebody out there that caught that trade. They was like, no way.
I know somebody did. Bet I put my 20. My drink just got hit. Let's see if it's gonna follow suit. If not, it's just falling. But I'm gonna be confident with mine and believe I'm gonna go with the higher time frame and understand structure, which is if it was once below this area and now it was at higher levels and it came back down to retest this, I have to believe that we're now looking to buy. I put my buy in at 2090, it got hit, and I'm now in profit. Let's see, let's put one more in. No, I'm not going to be greedy today. Let me lower my lot size so I'm not being over leveraging myself. Let's go, baby. My drink just flying up now. I don't even think I can even get another entry down here.
But that's a good thing. When your trades move in your direction when you first open them, those are the best trades.
Yep, that joint just zooming up. I had another entry, but I have only one entry. I'm up now.
Where you taking profits at?
Probably back at the top of structure. I might hold it. I'm up $6. Can I get price to come back down to touch? I have another order at 21 flat, and I put my other order in at 2090. So I got it right down here. I don't think I'm gonna have enough momentum to come back to my other order at 21 flat.
Is it still moving?
Yeah, it is. Let me drop down to a lower time frame so you can see. Yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo.
I'm back.
You back?
I'm back.
Cool, cool. But yeah, I had another order at 21 flat. And I had, like I told you, my other order was down here exactly. So it might be actually could come back down here to hit my other order, hopefully. But I'm definitely going to put a nice little, try to secure my profits. My other order didn't get hit. Did you place any orders yet?
Nope, not yet. I'm still trying to fill it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the market to kind of just fall back, turn back down. Because sometimes when the market just shoots up like it does, we can kind of see the market reverse and get back everything that it just gained.
Mm-hmm. That is a fact. And also, too, was kind of worrying me about this. Even though we got a break of this structure, we actually came back up right here for the retest. So this could be an area where it can decide to come back down and hit the green line again and retest my entry. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure I secure profits. drop down to a minute and see what's up. So yeah, this could be letting me know that I'm is now heading back down. Or not. So this was my entry. I do short. Oh yeah, that is short. The order. Oh, he's about to get hit. My other order here to get hit. I'm gonna just secure this right here.
It's rejecting off of that second green line.
And that's where my entry at. Well, no, my entry is at somewhere right here. Uh-oh.
And a moving average.
I think this could be let me know that it's now trying to head back down. Second order got hit.
Where are you taking that one to?
I wanted to, like I said, I want to take it back up to structure. But I don't even know if it could get back up here. So possibly somewhere around here. Let me see how many pips that is. That's a good 20. That's 30. I would like to take it out at the 65 moving average.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that could be the area in which, like I said in other streams, like when the market is kind of far apart and they're gapped, the market usually like to find its way back to the 65 moving average and 65 moving average and then continue in its direction. So
is it the same setup on the 5?
Let me see. Just letting me know. I think, yeah, it's probably going to possibly break this joint. But if it breaks this where we are right now, it has to come all the way back down here. Not has to, but most likely it will come back down here. But I just for some reason I just don't see it breaking back down below the green line, just because it was spending some time below this green line for a while until we finally got the break of that high. And now that we got that break of that high, we've been just sitting up here. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're still in profit, right?
Well, one of them is still in profit, yeah. I think I'm about to just cut it off at $4.
That's not bad. How many pips is that?
Let me see, from only like 15 pips.
That's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a great game. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
No. And like I feel like, huh?
I said you make a living off of a 15.
Definitely. If you can make 15 a day, bro, you be good. And mind you, like all you need is just to have a big enough lot size. But like you don't want to over leverage yourself. But I feel like the goal of this is really like having such a high enough lot size to where you only need like 5 or 6 pips and you made your profit for the day. I think that's really like the goal of this, like to go as little space as possible because your lot size is so big.
But on the same token, you got to make sure you take a good trade. You trade with a big lot size, you take a 15-point loss, 15 pip loss.
So
good trading is always important, no matter how much money we get.
Exactly. Exactly.
It don't care if you got 1,000,000 or if you got 100. They say you take a bad trade, we gonna hit you with that L every time.
Every single. Let me drop down to this 1 minute because I feel like where we are right now is giving some struggle. So this was, we came down to a low. We made a higher high. We now look like we made a higher low. And now we possibly could be making our way to make a higher high, huh?
What?
So we came
price
down.
Is that higher low that just got made?
Yeah, so pretty much this was a low, came up, make a higher high, then a higher low down here.
What price is that?
This is at 2095.
All right.
So this low was at 2090, 2095.
What's the price of that second green line at the top?
2160.
Yeah.
2106.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It looks like a bear flag, low key.
Mm-hmm. It does. And that's what's kind of worrying me about this because I'm in a buy. And it looks
like this higher low is gonna be the deciding factor. If the buyers can push it up from here, you still good.
Mm-hmm.
But if not, sellers are coming back.
Yep, and I'm like I said, I know when to cut my losses small. I'm not gonna let it.
Good thing, I feel like the good thing you made, the good thing you did on that trade was you caught a good entry.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how your trade was already in profit off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
So then when your trade is in profit, it kind of frees up your head and allows us to think clearly about our position.
Exactly.
I feel like it's different when you take a loss from the jump and you in a negative position. You start thinking, "Damn, should I close it? Should I add more? I don't know what to do."
Yep. But being like you said, as soon as I hit my 2 inch, well, I put in 2 entries, but my first one when it got hit, it automatically went into profit. But it was one of those setups that I knew from everything in me. I knew that anytime you see a candle that forms, and then there's a wick at the bottom, and then the body starts to close. I've seen that setup so many times to where it's just like when I see it now, I just jump on it. I don't even have to second guess it just because I know how to play that particular setup.
Exactly. That's the benefits of studying the markets, understanding what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Take good setups, and then it helps you down the line. Good actions lead to more good actions in the market.
Absolutely. So let's talk about like if this begins to go short. So let's kind of look at this really quick. So pretty much we had this low. If we created a higher low, and it looks like we're sitting in an area where it's now trying to give some wick rejections. If the market does want to break this so-called section, which is trying to do right now, we're going to get a break of this section, but it would but the most common thing would need to happen that once it breaks this, it would have to try to come back up to retest these wick rejections. Also, I want to kind of grab your attention and kind of bring it here at the top of these wicks. This was another area in which the market had, a couple wick rejections. We came up to a higher price. I think it wicked off 1, 2, 3, wicked off 3 times. So we have a strong resistance here, and we have a strong support here. This support here is now being broke. So I think now it's probably safe enough to say that the market is definitely trying to sell. And you got to know when to be able to pull out and keep your losses low. I understood that we were sitting at an area where the market was at a previous I don't think this was an all-time high, was it? No. Well, let's just say in this particular time frame or this point in time before any of this happened, this was an all-time high. We was below this area down sitting at lower levels, but now that we got the market to come back over to jump to break above it, and we came down to retest it, I've seen this set up 1,000 and 10,000. 10,001 time. This is my 10,002 time. That anytime I see the market playing around, it made a high, and then it finally had enough momentum to break that high, and then came down to retest it. That's all up for me. That's all up for me. But there are times and case scenarios like today where the non-farm payroll number was just either so good or so bad, whether it was on the US side or the Canadian side, that it's just going to completely ignore structure and just do what it wants to do. So we have to do that too. And it was one thing that we talked about yesterday, having a dual plan, understanding that plans do change. My plan was to, take the market higher, but being that, things do happen, and however the is there a way to see what happened with those numbers? Go to Forex
Yeah, go to
Factory, right?
Yahoo. Go to Yahoo Finance.
Let's flash over and look at that, guys. So maybe you guys can know where to look next time. So we're gonna go to Yahoo Finance. Oh man, something's happening. Oh, right here, Finance. And I think we definitely finally got a break of that area. So I think now it would be safe to say that if we, get a complete low break of this lower area, I think that the selling move would be all valid and that it ignored the entire plan that we had. But I feel like we do have a gap between this area. Well, let me just put this in before we can flash it back over to Yahoo Finance. I feel like this is a little area in which the market could come anywhere in between. It doesn't have to be necessarily one particular price, but anywhere within this zone, it would be valid for a turnaround to go back up. So just because it came down and it looks like it's pushing back down, it still has not broken that line completely. Like it has kind of pushed through it, but the body is now pushing back up and closing. So let's flash over to Yahoo Finance. So where do we go, Ty?
Right there. You see it?
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
So the U.S. employers added 559,000 jobs in May. The unemployment rate falls to 5.8. So that means if they've added jobs, the unemployment rate has fallen, and more people are being hired, or more jobs available. So that means there's going to be more money in the market to spend. So that's a good thing on the U.S. side. So I feel like if we kind of look at UCAD, wait, hold up before I talk about that. Is there a way to kind of see how? Let me go to. You know how like UCAD had CAD had news coming out too. Is there a way to see how the Canadian did? Were there any jobs added to Canadian? Because I think it was unemployment. Hold on, let me make sure. I think it was unemployment for. Yeah, the unemployment rate. So is there a way to see how the Canadian did?
Yep. Click on it. It should pop up. You see that column that says actual? That's the number that really came out.
Hold up. Let me exit this out. So actually, if we just look at this, minus 68. So this could either mean employment, like the amount of people being employed has went down, or let's click on it and read it. Let's not make no assumptions. All right, it says the change in the number of employed people during the previous month, actual greater than forecast, is a good for currency. This is vital data shortly after the month ends. The combination of reporting the job creation isn't important. Okay. Let's see unemployment. Today is what? June 4th. So I think last month's number was Actual was 8.1, and this is 8.2, so that went up. Does that mean that's what happened? If this is May 7th and this is June's number, we went from 8.1 to 8.2. We went up, right? Is that good or bad?
That's bad.
That's bad, right?
Yeah.
It would be good if we went down to 8.0.
Right.
So what do you know what forecast means? What they projected it to be, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like the Canadian numbers didn't do so well. I'm assuming that this negative 68 means that there's a negative effect in the employment market, that there are not enough jobs in the labor market as far as for the Canadian. The UCAT has been in a clean sell-off over a year now, but has recently encountered a major psychological level that is proving. And that's actually true, because when we go over to UCAD, we are sitting in a very, very important level. This level over here that hit this high. So like we said, if we can get it to break this zone entirely, I feel like it's going to be continue to sell off. So I feel like in the United States world, we did very good in far as employment numbers. So I'm pretty sure if we go over to like EU, I'm pretty sure EU should be EU should be going up. That's absolutely right. But I'm not messing with EU. I never really did. But it's a very volatile pair. But it still looks like the overall trend is down. But let's kind of flash over and see my trade, because I think it might be time to get out. I mean, I can give the market a little bit of room to breathe, because it can just hit this level and then begin to go up. It just hit the 65 moving average. So I can just be a little bit more patient and see what happens. I should possibly put my stop right behind the 65 moving average. So that way, if it does come behind there, I have no business being in the trade anyway. How's things looking over there for you?
So far, I've taken one trade, got stopped out on it because I was trying to anticipate the movement where the markets move up at first and then give it all back. But I was ignoring what I was looking at. We were in a bull flag and I was looking for the sell, which is all right because you have an opportunity to catch it. My problem was I got in at 42. It came down to a low of, let me see, 42. It came down to a low of about almost 25. So I was up by about 17 points, but decided against taking my profits and it came back, ended up stopping me out. So that's a lesson right there that when I'm up in profit, I need to move my stop to break even. Regardless of how much I think the trend can continue to run, I still got to protect my risk at all times. So I just learned a lesson already.
And I think kind of the same here, and I'm going to close mine out because I feel like maybe if I would have moved it to break even, I wouldn't have lost anything on this trade. I'm still not down a lot right now anyway. Almost, if it hits the bottom, I'm just going to be so-called a lot. 13 pips right there. I got in down here, so like I said, I'm not that much in negative right here. But this move right here, I definitely close this one out. But I still feel confident for the buy for some reason. Just because we were just sitting down at lower prices in a strong demand zone for a very long time. And then we finally got that break. And then now once we got that break, we actually came back down to that level that it broke in. And I feel like now we finally had that momentum or that low enough prices to bring it back up so us buyers can want to get back in. We have to us buyers, we have to be patient and, manage our risk correctly, because even though it's going to come down negatively a little bit or a little bit of drawdown, Just stick with it. Don't over leverage yourself. So when it does go a little bit against us, it's not a lot. But it's just something about this strong bearish momentum candle. I just feel I can't ignore this either. Even though I feel like maybe this was needed to bring prices down to this previous high level so that we can go to higher prices. I don't know. But I took one loss so far for the day. I mean, when it was up, I could have took in profit right there. So that's probably another lesson within it too. I was in profit. I wanted it to go to some number. I don't even know. But maybe if I would have taken profit right then and there. Yeah, man. I think this is definitely trying to sell off crazy. Because there was such a negative impact on CAD. And I think this, excuse me, being that CAD is on this side of the spectrum, we're looking at the CAD compared to the US, and being that US is doing so good right now compared to the CAD, it would only make sense that the CAD would fall. Just because they had not so good numbers that came out for unemployment, their projection was off compared to their actual. Let's drop down a little bit. I feel like some reason it's going to start turning around right now. What would make you want to get in for a buy on this one?
It would be hard for me to look for the buy on this one. Coming off of a fair flag, we had a pullback up to a major level of resistance. We turned around from it, and now we're moving back down. That would have been my sell signal.
Right.
I can't even think about the buys. Not until I see a higher low. Exactly. Then I can think about it.
Exactly. And like I said, I only wanted to take it back up to here. I wasn't going to take it nowhere near up here. I was just only going to take it back up to a level so it can continue to go down. So maybe I should have knew better. Once it came back up to hit this green line, I should have took my profit there. I want to try to look for one more little setup. I want to see what it does when it gets to the bottom of this red zone. So I feel like this bottom of this red zone could possibly bring it back up here again. And this is where we can get in for our sell. Look what gold did. Look what gold just did. Yeah, this is exactly what we needed, what we called. We said the market was going to come down and either hit this downtrend line. Once we got this hit of this downtrend line, which we were in a strong demand zone, it was going to push up crazy. But I think I would still want to sell off on gold for some reason. I still would want to sell gold. And actually came back up to this. Oh, I think I'm definitely going to prepare to get in for gold because it came exactly to this green box where we said it was going to retrace at. And then come back down. Or this was the move that was needed to finally break this area to continue to go up higher. Wait, AU, oh, that's UCAD. I'm about to say, what? UCAD. We're coming into area where it had multiple wick rejections. Taking any trades yet, bro?
Nope. I'm waiting for the market to turn back around because, well, right now I'm kind of observing because that's what I want to do. I want to wait for it to turn around, but because we're having such a bullish momentum move to the upside, I gotta wait for my move to kind of happen if it is gonna happen. Because I see the setup starting to play itself out, but the key for me is to not get in too early. So one of the things I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the open because I know a lot more volatility is gonna come into the market at that time, which could kind of help me determine which way I want to go.
Right.
So I'm playing it patient. Took that one loss, and now I'm waiting so I can strike for my next trade.
Yeah, UCAD totally did what it wanted to do. Finally coming to the bottom of that red box. I got out of my trades. I think this would be another prime area to hop in for a buy. But this has been such a strong sell momentum down, man. There's no way I can go for the buy. So let's try to see what we can get for a sell. Wow. We could have got in on a sell here, here. This AU, I feel like since we got such a strong push to the upside, this was probably what was needed to finally bring prices all the way back down again. Yeah, I'm gonna be patient like you, Ty, because this market has just really been doing its own thing. I want to try to have a setup for gold. So the levels that I kind of called out last night was the 1866 flat and the 1864. That was down here for the buy. But we were looking to bring it back up to like the 1840, which we definitely blew past. So I think since we're kind of retesting these levels, I want to look for the short. No, I can't look for the short on this one. It'd be really hard for me to look for the short on this one. Not to say that the overall trend is up, but we've been making lower lows and lower highs. We haven't made any higher highs or higher lows yet, so until that necessarily really happens, we kind of got to stay on the short side. But I don't know, man. I don't know if I might have to leave this one alone. We finally hit the bottom of that red zone. And look how much has just moved just within since the market is open. It's just been falling crazy. And I feel like how much more can it honestly fall? Probably all the way back down to the structure.
Yep. Probably so. That's the good thing about news. When it comes out, it moves the market.
So let's try to get a sell right off of this low over here. Let's try to get the retest off of here at 2080. When I just seen this, I'm like, wait a minute, bro. This looks like a sell to me.
Gotta wait for your lower high.
I know. That's why I said I gotta be patient, but this is definitely selling up for a short, bro. I'm not gonna miss this one. It's gold. But I gotta wait for it to make that lower low. And that lower high is where we'll get back in it. I feel like this is probably where that lower high is gonna come back up to, but I'm not gonna rush because this is gold. I might have gotten exactly where I wanted to. Or this could be a good buy. Nope. I'm staying with the sell on this one. Finally came up to that level I wanted to. Maybe I should set up for the buy. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm right by the level you said for gold yesterday. Your levels was 1885 and 1880.
Yep. Perfect short area.
Yep. And then mind you, like when I seen it come up and like hit this 65 moving average, I was like, yo, bro, this is definitely, if this is not a short, bro, I don't know what is. Because we came back down and broke through it and came back up to touch it.
Now, I think the real question is like, what is it going to do from this point?
Right.
Because I feel like it's so many different ways it can. Well, not different, but it could go both ways. Because on the lower time frames, we see that the bull momentum is strong, but then are the people on the higher time frames going to come in and have enough selling momentum to actually reverse what the buyers are doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Slash over to UCAD right quick. And I feel like this could be a strong area for a buy as well. But it's been in such strong down momentum. Trying to take a buy on this is like fighting a trend.
Yeah.
But it's just where it's sitting at though. Like it came to a high before a strong duality level and it hit exactly at the 65 moving average. So I feel like at a smaller time frame it would seem like you're fighting a trend, but in all actuality, this is what needed to happen in order to get the market to hit the 65 to finally go and do what it wanted to do.
But the pullback is just so violent.
So crazy, right? Like I can't even take them. Like I can't even hop in for a trade, bro. I took my loss and that was it. I had to chill. Let's go to a minute and see what like was this. Yeah, bro, it's just falling. So if it breaks here, we're gonna go for the short. That's what we're gonna do. Let's flash over to gold. Like I said, that gold could be setting up for that short. Hit exactly where Tiberius said last night. And that joint is so crazy. He said 1888, bro. He said it last night. You heard him. Y'all was there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna follow Ty. I'm gonna follow Ty. I'm gonna go out on a risk on this one. Let me place my order for 1888. I'm going in for that.
Wait, what happened? I thought you was waiting.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna place the order for a limit to come back up to hit this again and then come back down at the 1888. But I think we might have just missed it because this was it right here. Because like I said, if I'm gonna go for a sell, I don't want to get in down here. I want to try to get in as high up here as possible. But I may just try to put my order in down here on the break of this little top of this wick. I don't like to, like I told you, I never hit market execution. I always put either a limit or a stop. I never just hit buy or sell. So if I put in an order, it's pretty much me placing the order either back at the top or placing the order back at the bottom. Like I said, I'm still waiting. Cause like this joint is just want to do what it want to do, bro. Yeah, bro. I think that joint going up.
It's in a nice up.
Mm-hmm. It's looking like we possibly might have some wick rejections right here. Mm-hmm. Whatever's sitting at this level right here, it doesn't want nothing to do with it. Did 1880? Did my drink get hit? My drink just got hit, bro.
For the sell.
For the sell. That's what I said. Uh-oh, I don't want to look at it. Hold on, bro. Let's flash over to UCAD right quick.
Did you get your lower high?
For UCAD? Or
Nah,
for
for
gold?
gold.
I did. I'm going to show you. Well, I got a retest of the same high. I didn't get a lower high, but I think this lower high is forming right now. I pretty
So
much.
it's not formed already.
Nope.
It's still forming.
It's still forming, but I got it right off the hit of the double top. But like I said, this is looking chunky right now. But we're getting multiple wick rejections. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 already. I feel like this is a high. This is a lower high. Like we said, we haven't got that lower. Excuse me, we got a lower low. We haven't got that lower high yet. But I feel like this lower high is forming like right now. Like right as we're talking. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wick rejections. So that should be UCAD right quick too. So it looked like we got the break and a retest for the sell. So we're doing sell on gold and then sell on UCAD. I definitely would have thought like with this little wick right here. Oh yeah, and that is usually the like how do you say when there's a good about something, there's always that bad part about it. So anytime you do see like a candle like this and it forms that wick and it pulls back up here and closes up here, let's just say maybe 8 out of the 10. No, not that's a lot. Let's just say it's 5 out of the 10 times when you see the wick that comes, well, the candle that forms, and then the body comes all the way up here, and then there's a big old wick down here. 5 out of the 10 times, the market pretty much comes down and fill the rest of these wick orders down at the bottom, just the way it did on this one. Flash back over to Google because I think we finally got it. Do you want to consider this the lower high or still no?
No, I can't say that that's a lower high. What price is that all the way at the top? What's the highest price?
1888.
No, I mean go to that red candle.
This one?
That. Yeah, hold the mouse right there.
1888.
All right. And what's the high for that red candle?
1887.
Ah, nah, come on, bruh. 1 point.
1887. Yeah.
1 point. That can't be no lower high. That's an equal high.
but it has multiple 1, 2, 3, 4. I felt like at the third, it was like, yo, if it was gonna bust through, it'll bust through by now.
So you gonna take profit right there at the bottom at 85, or you gonna hold it?
I might have to take it out down here at the wick down here.
Yeah.
I want to see it come right to either one of these higher down here, but I don't see that.
It just flies down there too.
I know. I put my take profit and make sure I get out. Well, let me see how many pips that is too. That's just not even a lot.
That's $3, 88 to 85.
Yo, you there? Are you back? Yo, you back? Yo, bro, you back? Yo, you back?
Hello?
Oh man, with that Wi-Fi.
We back.
We back though.
They don't want me to be great.
They don't want you to be great at all.
Stream continues.
And then mind you, the stock market is gonna open in a couple of minutes. I think I got that lower high at well, no, this is a high and this is a lower high down here at 18.
Boy. Shit, you could go to the Olympics for gymnasium the way you stretching right now.
For real.
But it could work. I'm not saying it won't. Like, who am I to say that? Because there you go. That should move right there. Hit the moving average.
Mm-hmm.
Just hit it. So you had to take some profits.
I took the profit already. It was $3.25.
That's a good trade. That was. I ain't gonna say it was easy, but that was simple.
But it's like you think I should have held it?
Nah, I feel like in the market, it's times and places where you just know it's finna sell off. It's not gonna be big, but you know it's not gonna keep going up. You hop in, you take your $3,
you get out.
Yep. Just
and
a little quick scalp trade.
And I feel like this UCAD move is finally gonna make that up move, which I've been screaming it's gonna happen. It just bust out the bottom just a little bit, and now it's finally gonna probably try to go back up again. Let's hope it's just trying to retest this high over here and then finally push back down. But I think, in my heart of hearts, I feel like it did a false breakout. It came to its lowest point, and now it's finna just go back up now. How many pips was that? Because you could have definitely benefited a lot on that just from the open. About 50 pips.
All right, market's starting to move a little bit. GU is moving.
I'm glad I hopped out of gold too. Hop it right on out. Let's see what this UCAD is gonna do though. It'd be crazy if that joint come all the way back down here.
It's definitely possible.
We have 3 minutes. Let's see what Sundial do, because I think Sundial's has been a stock that's really been performing and being with things have been going with legislation. You could definitely possibly see a huge push up with Sundial today. The market opened up in literally seconds, so let's see how it responds. It is now open. Let's see what happens. I think it's going to be a nice either a little push up to retest these highs and pretty much come back down, or ever since this low down here, we've just been making our way back up, trying to retest higher prices.
What's the top of structure? What's that price?
Up here?
Nah, the one we at right now.
Ooh, see what I say? It just jumped up. $1.30. See, now it's probably going to try to come back down now. It gapped up. It gapped up, so either one or two things are going to happen right now. It's either going to gap up and continue going up, or it's going to gap up and come down. But I think anytime something just gaps up on the open, you should probably see up moves today. Ooh, I know GameStop too. A lot of people were talking about GameStop today. It's still at 200 and something. That's crazy. And there was another one, Ford. We'll be coming down to retest some of these lower areas before we continue back up again.
Coming back to test the gap.
Ooh, wait, I just, oh. Wait, nah, bro, nah. I'm about to say, what was I just, what was we just looking at? We was looking at Ford,
Sundial.
right?
Sundial.
Oh, Sundial. Ah, here it is. Yep, so we gapped up. I think we probably going to fill in this gap and continue up. And I think gold finally went all the way up. But it's still having multiple wick rejections. But I'm glad I got out that joint. That joint playing around. I think this could be definitely a great weed stock to benefit on because we're still in like the dollars. So just imagine when weed gets up to like $10. It actually was way up here at one time. Look where it dropped down from. It dropped down from $13 and we're now down to the singles. I think we're just going to fill in this gap, continue to go up. You made any more moves or?
Nope. Still observing. Now that the market is open, the uptrend continue, but we just put in a long tail candle wick. So I'm just trying to wait for a clear cut signal. It's still unclear to me. I know the uptrend is on, but I'm looking for good entry.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, the Dow Jones is in a bull flag. We initially had the poll coming off the news from the non-farm payroll announcement. We came all the way back up to 34,650. We established the flag support down at 625. We trended up, came back to the top of the flag, was able to come back down, reestablish another support level, make a higher low on that flag support at 637. Now, from that point forward, we pushed all the way to 700, pushing back down right now, touching against 650. So we have to determine whether or not this long tail wick is going to lead to lower prices. And if it does lead to lower prices, where could we hop in for the potential long trade to take advantage of this uptrend that we're seeing? Also, we want to make sure we don't just stay on the 1 minute. We want to look at all of the higher time frames to see what the bigger picture looks like. On the 5 minute, we can see that the candle we're on right now is a very serious long tail wick. And depending on how it closes, well, it closes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it closes a long tail wick on higher volume. That's not a good sign. That usually means that we have lower prices coming up. So we could potentially come back and test the bottom of the flag support. So let's also take a look at the 15 as well. On the 15, we see the same thing, the long tail candle wick. So that's telling us that not only on the lower time frames are we seeing this, but the higher time frames are also following suit. We pull it out to the hourly chart, we can see that we're running into a level that used to be a very important supply zone. So the uptrend really is at a pivotal point. If it pushes past where it's at, it definitely has plenty of room to run, probably back up to 750. But if not, and it can't break this area, we could see a slight pullback. Now, on the Dow Jones, a pullback could be 100 to 150 points. So we could definitely catch some good short trades if that happens to be the case. But if not, we'll still keep our eyes open for that long trade. But I want to see exactly how this long tail candle wick, what it leads to. On the 15, it's not closed yet. On the 5 minute, it has closed. And on the 1 minute, we break it back down. That kind of sets the picture for what we're looking at. So now we understand exactly what is going on. We have that long tail candle wick, and we had a lower high get established from it. But I'm still a little bit skeptical because I just don't want to get in the way of the uptrend. I feel like the selling signals are going to have to show me a little bit more strength before I start to believe that it can really turn around right now, because the trend is up. And that's my analysis for the Dow Jones. Don't forget, we also looking at the GU futures, British pound futures. Now we can see that this has definitely been in a strong uptrend since the news came out. We go back to 8:30. We went from 141.40 all the way up to 142 even. So that's about 60 pips within the span of 1 hour, a very strong uptrend. Not only have we had a 60 pip movement to the upside, but we're coming into a major psychological level right here at 142. Notice how when we got up here to 142, we hit it exactly, and then we pull back from it. We're coming back into the 90s right now. So we need to look to the left to figure out what areas we could potentially go long from. The first support area where we see lower highs from previously is at 41.95. The next level is down here at 41.85. Now let's also pull it up to the higher time frames to make sure we're getting the full picture. And as we can see, since 7:40 this morning, the market has been running. We went from 41.10 all the way up to 42. So we should see a decent pullback. So we want to start looking for that 75 level, that next quarter level down below, to potentially be hit. So that's on my radar as well for right now. That's what I'll be kind of keeping my eyes on for GU. But I'm mainly focused on this Dow Jones, trying to figure out whether or not this long tail candle wick is going to do what it's supposed to do. I think this will be a very good study, a very good case study, especially for all of us to exactly see how long tail wicks form in real time, what can lead to confirmation for a long tail wick, and what can lead to rejection of the idea that the long tail wick was supposed to lead to lower prices. So this will actually be perfect to kind of analyze that and see what happens. So let's see what the market has to offer for us right now.
So just to kind of jump right in, I don't want to interrupt Ty, but I wanted to kind of say this really quick. We noticed that we had multiple wick rejections. We seen that the market came down, hit the 7 moving average perfectly. I got out at this high, but I kept this zone here specifically because I noticed how this was once the ceiling. We finally broke above it, came down to hit the floor. So something told me, like, you know what? You should hop in for the buy, which I did. I hopped in for a buy at these wick rejections here. I got in at 1888, that prime number Tiberius was talking about all night last night. We got that exact hit off this 1888, and it's now we're in a buy. It's kind of the same thing for UCAD. I got in at 2078, right off this retest here. 2070 retest of the 7 moving average for the short. We came up, got this retest for a short. We had multiple wick rejections to try to break this high, which we couldn't. We got this break, we couldn't do it. We tried it one more time, got another rejections. Ever since then, we've been making our way back down. So I just had to say that really quickly before you got too crazy. So for the buy right now, we're looking to go for a long, And for UCAD, we are still waiting, pretty much still in the short. So let's just see how these plays play out. And I think after these two right here, that'll be my 3 trades for today.
So I just took a little small scalp to the long side on the Dow Jones. Just caught 10 quick little points, mainly because we see this long tail wick is kind of starting to unravel itself. And I think this might be earlier where we say that sometimes you get that long tail candle wick and it doesn't do what it's supposed to. This is one of those scenarios because when we see a wick like this, it usually means we're supposed to sell off. But because the uptrend was so strong, that wick, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. We see that the buyers looked at that as just an opportunity to get in at lower prices. So I wanted to kind of piggyback and ride that wave a little bit. So I just waited for prices to come back down to what it used to be a previous high right here. They retested it. We got the wick, and they pushed all the way back up. Gave me my little 10-point scalp. So that's pretty good. That's pretty decent. That's very similar to what Darren just did on gold, the trade before last, where he saw that it was a potential chance to take a quick scalp. He hopped in, he hopped out, he got his profit, and he moved on. So I took a note from his page and did the same thing over here on the Dow Jones. I think overall we're still looking for the uptrend. But what we don't want to do, we don't want to let the Dow Jones kind of fool us because the Dow Jones can play with you if you don't have a plan of action. Mm-hmm. So let's actually break that down. I know we talked a lot about creating plans last night, so let's discuss my plan a little bit more. My plan is, so my ultimate target is 34,750. Why? Right? I'll give you a couple reasons why. First of all,
hold on, you're going in and out. Hold on, bro, you're going in and out. Bear with us, guys.
Hello?
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. You there? Yo, you back? Yo, bro, you back? Yo, bro, you back? Just bear with us, guys. It's going to pop right back in any minute now. He's going to pop in any minute now. Yo.
Why they don't want me to be great?
Yo, they don't want
Why
you to be.
Why can't they let me shine?
Bro, they seen you get that 10. Bro, they seen you get that 10 points out the market that fast, and they ain't like that, bro. They didn't like that at all.
Bro, I was in facts, and I look up, and I'm like, why is it frozen?
Yo,
I'm like,
and
man,
so
you
crazy.
gotta be kidding.
It's so crazy. We was like, yo, what is he saying? I know he's dropping knowledge right now, and they just cutting you clean off, bro. We didn't hear nothing you said.
Dang, where did I cut off at?
All of it. But you was pretty much saying you took a book out of my page. I think that might have been the last thing we heard.
Yeah, so I took a book out of your page and tried to just take a quick trade where you see what you want and then you get in. So, all right, here's what I was saying. I was saying that on Thursday we told you guys how we want to go over trading plans and break them down and have a plan of action in this market. Mm-hmm. So let's get a little bit deeper into my personal trading plan. Perfect. For my trading plan, I'm looking for prices to come back up to 34,750. Why? I'll give you a few reasons why. For one, we're in a strong uptrend, so we know that prices have a tendency to move higher. We've already established that. Now, secondly, 750 is a major quarter level. So you have minor quarter levels that come between the hundreds. So a minor quarter level right now would be 675, 625, 650. Right? But major quarter levels come between thousands numbers. So between 34,000 and 35,000, you got 34,250, 34,500, 34,750. So we're coming up into that major quarter level. We see how strong the market is. When you come to major quarters like that, they tend to act as a magnet and eventually don't gravitate towards that price. So when you understand that, doesn't mean you just go long automatically, but it means that you can kind of look for places and spots in the market where you can take a good entry and maybe take prices all the way up to that point. So that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm scoping out that 750 level and I'm waiting for prices to come to it. So in order to find the best entries, what do we need to do? We need to wait for prices to come back and test what used to be previous highs. We've seen that so far they've been able to do that at 78. If we could get a little bit of overshoot and get it to come back down to the next level at these wicks located at 665. So one thing about the Dow Jones, the pullbacks can sometimes go a little bit further than what we expect. So if we break it down to the 1 minute, we can see the support levels down here at these wicks at 79 and whatnot. But don't just go long because they're at those levels. I always try and let the Dow Jones shake itself all the way out. Basically, the best points to go long on the Dow Jones is when you just feel like the shorts are about to step in and about to push the market low. That's when you got to go long. So that's what I'm waiting for right now. We're coming back to that 65 level. We're at 72. So if we hit 665, we bounce up off of it and we have a higher look in that long trade for sure. But honestly, if we go back to that long tail candle wick we were talking about, honestly, that long tail candle wick has not been violated quite yet. And I say that because if we zoom in, we can kind of see that the high for the long tail wick 712. We came all the way back up to 702, 705. So that right there was an indication. When we saw it come to 705 instead of 712, that's telling us that they couldn't get back all the way up to that high. So after they failed to do that, what did we see? We saw prices continue to move back down. So technically, this is one of those situations where the long tail candle wick is still held up, because as long as prices don't get back above it, that's an important level to keep our eyes on. So I wouldn't say that we need to go short right now. This would probably actually be the perfect buying opportunity, since we have so much selling momentum coming back down into major levels of support. But remember, maybe 30 minutes ago, we were talking about the flag's initial levels of support at 625 and 637. We still want to use those levels as potential areas to go long from. So let's not hop into the long trade too quickly. We want to wait for it to turn around. Don't catch the falling knife. Wait for your levels to get hit, get that higher low. Then we can start thinking about going long. So until then, we'll just have to observe and see what happens. Click back. I'm expecting the uptrend to continue and for us to break 142, but we'll have to be patient and let that kind of play out, because right now they're in a consolidation period. They're taking a little bit of break, trying to see where they want to go. So that's my wrap up. That's my plan of action so far. I'm waiting for everything to set up, and when I see what I like, I'm going straight.
All right, there you have it, guys. So literally, when it's time to when it's time to make money and put money on the wood, pause. You have to be patient. Notice how before Ty actually took a couple of his trades, he waited patiently and let the market shake itself out. You have to come do the same thing. And also too, what I begin to notice or learn to do is try to learn and see where these rejections are, try to find the duality level, and let that be my specific level. So notice how over here, this was playing as the ceiling. We came down here to test the 7 moving average, and then this was going to finally bring us up above that little wick rejection level. We're sitting on top of it now, giving it multiple wick rejections again, but the only difference is this time, instead of being below that zone, we are now sitting above that zone. So any of the times that I've seen that happen, I pretty much see it just comes down, may hit it a couple more times, but ultimately it's going to just continue in its original direction, which is up. So it's all about being patient and just understanding what you know is that's just what it is. Don't question yourself too much. One thing that I always learned is if you go with your gut, you'll never fail. I'm not going to say never fail, but you'll fail at least. Because a lot of the times, if I would have went with my gut move, I've always would have been a profit. But it's just always when I second guess things is when things become challenging. Like I'm very confident with on this. Maybe like I won the profit on this where I kind of gave the market a little bit my profits back. I think I cut it short once I got somewhere back down here. If I just took my profit up here and understood that after this big old red candle, we have to follow suit. So moving forward, anytime we see a big old red candle like this, we know that we get a rejection. A pullback to its previous. Matter of fact, that wasn't even all up to the level. That just retraced every. Oh no, it retraced it right here, and then it came all back down. But what I actually want to do is go sundial real quick. That joint just fall all the way back down.
So it gapped up and then filled the gap.
And it looks like it's now sitting in a very, very strong demand zone. So it looks like most part is kind of playing in this kind of like consolidation zone. I missed some levels in between the two. But I feel like I've seen on all on Instagram that Biden could actually be the reason why sunflower growers and weed companies don't do so well. But I think more, if anything, it was he literally went all the way legal under his administration. So do you feel like we're gonna fill this gap? I need this over here. So are we gonna actually fill the gap that we had over here? Can we get to come back down to this lower level and finally get to back up? Who knows?
What's your thoughts on Tilray?
Huh?
What's your thoughts on Tilray?
On Tilray?
Yeah, TLRY.
TLRI?
RY.
RY.
That's
right
a
here?
weed stock. Yeah, it's a weed company.
Alright. And I'm assuming that on the NASDAQ class too. Kind of looks the same like though. Look like we had. So let me go to the daily though. It kind of looks very similar to Sundial. Like we had a gap over here. It looks like we kind of filled that gap, but ever since this high up here, we've been getting lower highs and lower lows. And until we possibly come, let me go to the weekly. It is a very interesting pair. Because it started at $20 and got as high as $300. Damn, talk about a flip, 20 to 300. But if you notice in the weekly, ever since that back down, and we even gotten we're actually lower than what we originally up at. We opened up at 22. The market now at 18. We're in uncharted territory. Yeah, this one I would definitely need some more confirmation. Let's see what the the earnings look like. So, like they were negative. Like they were positive in the earnings, but overall they still been going down. So I guess because we're at a lower price than what it originally ended up at, I want to come down a little bit lower. Even though it's already low, I want to kind of come back down to like 18, even though we're at 19 right now. And then I want to see go up, but I don't know what other factors are going to make this particularly go up. And where is this particular weed company at?
Tilray. I don't know where they based out of. Probably Cali or Colorado.
Yeah, because this particular it looks like a crazy setup because we made this high up here, but technically if we go right to this line chart, oh, that did happen. We respect this is like it respects the moving average very closely. When we break above moving average, it just comes up to hit the 65 and then it just back down again. So I mean, I don't know about this one. I don't think this is not really enough exposure. I don't know what about the stock not really the formation of the chart is just not really lining up. But if I had to make a guess or try to make a prediction or something, we made higher high and we made a higher low. If we can continue to make higher highs and higher lows, I would think about getting in for the buy. And one of the only reasons why I also think about getting into because we're at prices lower than it originally opened. That's always a good thing. Well, it's not a good thing, but for people trying to buy in, it's a thing. Because if they opened up at 23 and now we're at 19, and the lowest it got was $3. So I'm pretty sure anyone who got in at $3 definitely capitalized off this. What do you think about it?
I think over the long term, maybe they could do good, but weed has to get legalized first.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say based on the chart, I can't say it's unlikely because that's political, but I don't know. Based on the chart, I can't go long. I gotta look for the potential short trade on this.
Absolutely.
Based on the chart.
Yeah, we're going down lower. So in order for us to go low, we buy low, sell high. So we can get the market hit this 65 and average like before. I mean, it would be a great level to have in for short. Actually, look where it's retracing at. It pulled back exactly to the bottom of its open candle. So if it stays below this, I would have to, like Tabir said, I would have to stay on the short. Let's flash over to gold real quick because I think that finally did what I wanted to do. Yeah, it finally broke its structure. I'm in deficit in profit. I'm probably looking to take profits already soon. By the time this, I'm gonna be greedy. Probably take it $2 and call it. Or I can definitely decide to hold on to it. Maybe like noontime. And then UCAT is also continuing to short down. So if it broke this level over here, I can see it coming back down to the red. So on both of them, definitely in profit on both of them. But to go back to top area, so what is it? TRLY?
Yeah. Well, TLRY.
T what?